Steven Page will have more than just himself as a backing musician when he performs his holiday special with the Calgary Philharmonic. The orchestra joins him in concert at the Jubilee Auditorium on Saturday, December 6th. And joining us is Steven Page. It's wonderful to see you.
Nice to be here.
So, growing up as a Jewish kid in Toronto, what holiday memories do you have?
Well, we got a little bit of both. So I grew up with Hanukkah, which is not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, for those who celebrate, we would watch our friends who had Christmas trees celebrate with great, sets of Lego and Hot Wheels and whatever else. And I might get sock on night one and the matching sock on night two.
Yeah.
We did get stockings on Christmas, so we got a little bit of, because there was a lot of FOMO going on in our house.
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand you have a new Christmas song as well, and it's featured in Murdoch Mysteries, in which you act as well. Tell us first of all about the song.
Well, so I was approached by Murdoch Mysteries to come and do a cameo on their Christmas special this year. And they asked me if I would write a song for this special. So they asked me to write a song called Christmas in Toronto. And my first thought was, they're going to love that in Alberta. So I wrote a song that is as critical of Toronto as you could possibly be, I think. Where it's about, from my perspective, of the fact that perhaps I would want to be anywhere except for Toronto on Christmas, but this is where I'm going to be, so I'm going to make the most of it.
Gotcha. And we see some video of you on the set. How did you enjoy the experience acting?
It was, being on set was so fun, and the actors were so gracious and accommodating and friendly, and I got to, wear this awesome suit. And then we got to the point where they said, well, you can't wear your glasses because those glasses are too modern. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but my glasses are my thing. How are they going to know who I am? So they gave me these little tiny, like Benjamin Franklin doodads. So I'm wearing little tiny glasses in part of it and no glasses in another part. But anyways, when it comes to my acting, I was nervous. One of the worst things in the world for me is to see myself walk on camera. Walking on camera, it is like I have this kind of hunched over, very nerdy kind of walk, and they made me walk into the frame so many times. But I heard back from the producers, they said I was better than many of the other cameos they've had.
Oh, so. Very nice to hear. And yet, you've done lots of music videos over the years. You're somewhat used to that appearance, right?
Yes, but there's a good example. In the video for Enid, I remember, and I'll never live this down, there was a scene where I walk off the side of the screen, and I'm doing that hunched over walk, and the whole band never let me live that down. It was like we burst out laughing, and I burst out crying, and I still think of it. It's very traumatic.
I have to ask you about Brian Wilson, because he passed away in June of this year. And that was one of the first songs you wrote. You were practically a kid when you wrote it. Tell us about your thoughts on his passing.
Well, I grew up a big Beatles fan and not really a Beach Boys fan. I didn't get it. I just thought of them as kind of lightweight and didn't have the same kind of substance as the Beatles stuff to me. And then when I was at York University, I had a friend who was a huge Beach Boys fan, and he introduced me to the depth of their catalog and also the story of the Wilson brothers, particularly of Brian. And I became obsessed and wrote that song really about my own early struggles with mental health and with depression. And I could see that in the way people talked about Brian Wilson. But at that point in the late 80s, whenever people talked about Brian Wilson in like Rolling Stone or on the radio, whatever else, he was treated as just kind of a rock and roll casualty, as opposed to this kind of deep person with a lot of layers and the traumatic things, but also beautiful, wonderful things. And when he was able to make a comeback in the early 2000s, he actually recorded a live version of our song, Brian Wilson, and came and played that for us when we were in the studio in Los Angeles, which was, a moment I will never, ever forget. And then a little while later, he came to Toronto on tour and invited us up on stage to sing Fun, Fun, Fun with him. So it was like, to have that connection once I was no longer just a kid and a fan, but a fellow musician was really, really, really amazing.
Yeah, what a wonderful experience. Okay, we're going to take a quick look at a video here. You did this about 3 years ago.
Of course, we would love to take credit, but that's not what Canadians do. Our nation's foundation of self-deprecation seems like it is rubbed off on you.
So this is a song and video that you did for Ryan Reynolds when he won a Governor General's Award. And I love the fact that all these charities that he was involved in got involved in the video as well.
Yeah, it was great to be invited. Initially, I was invited just to sing a song when they gave him the award. It was supposed to be a surprise, but it was in 2020. And of course, they canceled the live awards that year. So they came back the next year and said, could you write a song for Ryan, which is totally daunting because, you know, you want it to be both funny and poignant, which is absolutely his wheelhouse. And I had to just kind of shut off my brain and go, write this thing, just write it now. And then they took it to all of these different charities that he works with, and people from every one of those charities got involved with this video, which was really amazing. And, you know, it shows you kind of how important his contribution has been to Canadian culture.
Yeah, I find it very moving, actually. And I have to admit, the line, almost as juicy as Bruno Gerussi, is an all-time classic. It's very special.
I had actually, thank you. I had originally written the line, you're much more profane than either Schuster or Wayne. And the producer came back and said, that's too niche. So I came back with the Bruno Gerussi line, which is even more niche, and they let me keep it.
I remember Wayne and Schuster, absolutely.
Sure.
You know, you will always be known as formerly of Barenaked Ladies. That tag will follow you for the rest of your life, perhaps. And I think fans of bands that break up always wonder, oh, will they get back together? Do they still get along? I take it, though, we're well past that, right?
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't say never. I mean, we did get back together briefly when we were inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 2018, and I would say since then, we probably get along better than we have in the last 15 years. So that's a nice thing to know, at least that there's no kind of great burning resentment. But I think both parties are very happy doing what they're doing without the other party. At the same time, I am super proud of everything we did together. And so I still do lots of those songs in the shows. And, I like sharing in those memories with the audience and with the other guys.
And aside from the Calgary Philharmonic, you do have, in a way, another band with you. Tell us about them.
Yeah, I travel with the Steven Page Trio, who are Craig Northey from The Odds on guitar, who I also co-write and co-produce a lot of stuff with, and work with The Odds as well. And then Kevin Fox on cello, who people may have seen him playing with Chantal Kreviazuk or with Sarah Harmer or with me, because we've been playing together for 15 years as well. And we're at that stage in our relationship as a band where we can work telepathically now. So I know it's a good mix. You don't have to speak.
So when you come to Calgary, you'll do a number of Christmas songs. You'll do some Barenaked Ladies songs. I assume you'll do the dreidel song as well, right?
We'll do a little dreidel song. Yeah, we do. And I have this other song called Hanukkah Blessings that we will do with the Calgary Phil. And we'll do everything from If I Had $1 Million and Brian Wilson to some of my newer solo material to a bunch of other Christmas hits. We're not doing Last Christmas this time, although I am working on a holiday album which will be out next year, and Last Christmas will be on that. But there will be another treat from the 80s. There'll be another, for those people who grew up as 80s kids, there's another kind of holiday song from the 80s that'll be in that show.
That's a good teaser right there. I like that one. Sounds like a wonderful show, Steven. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
So glad to be here. Thank you. Looking forward to coming back.
All right, take care. And Steven Page and the Calgary Philharmonic perform a holiday special Saturday, December 6th at the Jubilee Auditorium.